So this is a flour box, and a long time ago people would have kept flour and other sort of staple goods in boxes. Today we would keep them in plastic, perhaps not something that looks quite like this. It's also quite large, much larger than containers that we might have today. Bread, things made with flour were staples in people's diets, so you used a lot more flour than perhaps many of us use today. Baking was just a regular thing that you did and you had to do to be able to eat. On the front of it, it says that the date is 1871, and so that's probably the date that this piece was painted. And this particular style comes from the area of sort of Sigdal or Eggedal, Norway, and we can sort of compare that and contrast the colors as well as the style of the painting to other pieces from that area. If we look at some older pieces in Norway before 1870, the blue will not be quite this vibrant, blue, sort of intense color of blue. And this red is a little more red than some of what we would sometimes consider Norwegian red. So it looks more like the colors that you might see here in the United States. Color, and also colors that paint pigments that would be available later on. So you could look at something from 1750 and it would look very different from this piece that is from the 1850, 1870, somewhere in that time period. Until railroads were more prevalent in this area, a lot of communities would have their own mills because you just had to haul the grain in, and that just wasn't possible to do over longer distances. And so, especially here in northeast Iowa, where you have a lot of water power available to you, for example, the upper Iowa River and all of these sort of tributaries or little streams, that provided a lot of power and a lot of opportunity to have mills available, and so they could be close. And so communities in northeast Iowa, you will see sort of remnants of those mills. Like I said, we happen to have one here at Vesterheim itself, so they were very kind of important in the community. So you could take your grain there, you could go there to buy your flour, whatever you needed.